All right, guys, back again for day 21 of the 100 movies and horror movies in 31 days. Starting to wear on me a little bit, but I had a pretty good day yesterday. Yesterday was Slasher Day, and I finished up from the day before on the vampire theme. I watched Let Me In, which is the 2010 American remake of the Swedish film from '08. Basically, a bullied boy befriends this girl that's got a secret. The secret is she needs blood to stay alive. This is a blow for blow, shot for shot remake of the '08 film, but I think it does a really good job of improving in areas. For example, I think the gore scenes and the violence scenes are stepped up a notch. And so I think it improves in a lot of respects, the Swedish film. And it makes it, obviously, because it's an American film, it makes it more accessible to English-speaking audiences in general. So I have to say, this is probably an odd moment where a reboot or a rehash of a film that was really, really good was equally good. Usually, it's dangerous ground to just verbatim copy another film, but I think they pull it off in this regard. So I really like the film, and I think both versions of this novel that was Dracula novel is pretty good, vampire novel rather. So yeah, I recommend Let the Right One In or Let Me In. Both of them I think stand equally on their own merits. Then I watched a sticker on there, Dark Night of the Scarecrow, which is a 70s made-for-TV movie with Charles Durning. Basically, this town of vigilantes led by Charles Durning kill a retarded boy, 36-year-old retarded boy, but nevertheless. They kill him under false pretenses, or they think they killed him. They shoot him while he's wearing a scarecrow outfit. And then the rest of the film is trying to determine, it's kind of a revenge type movie, but you're not ever really sure whether the boy that's coming back is actually pulling off these murders, or there's some mysterious force, or what's going on. It's a really good, compelling made-for-TV movie, and Charles Durning is excellent in it as the kind of the lead vigilante. Charles Durning, by the way, served in World War II and landed on the beaches of Normandy and survived. So he's got quite a history beyond just movies. But yeah, it's a good little flick. If you're looking for a scarecrow terrorizing people movie, that's not what this is. This is more of an implied kind of horror movie. But I like it a lot. It's a good movie. 7 out of 10. Then I watched, surprisingly, one of the best slasher films that I'd hardly ever heard of. Or I'd heard of this movie, but I'd never seen it or paid it much attention, and mainly because other people haven't. And that is Hell High. Now, I bought this because of the Joe Bob Briggs commentary, which I think is off the cuff great. Everything he does is just as engaging as can possibly be. But this movie, Hell High, there's a question as to when it was made. I think it was made in '87 and released in '89. Whatever, but some people, IMDb, I think, lists at '89. This is a great slasher film and a hidden gem, in my opinion. And it's a film that stands up without having to be made fun of. The characters and the actors in this, of course, you've got teens. It's a revenge film as well as a slasher film. You got a group of teens that terrorize a teacher. That the teacher has some haunting memories as a child, and then after being terrorized by these teens to the point where she's quote dead, they think she's dead. Then the worm turns, if you will. I really like this film. It's a quick 80-minute trip in if you like slasher films or you've not seen or heard of Hell High, man, I highly recommend it. 7 out of 10. I put the Hell High through my little scoring system for slasher films, and so let me go through that real quick. First off, you get some pretty cool mud in the face right out of the get-go. That's a point. Couples riding a motorcycle and this kid throws mud in their face. The mud in the face results in these two getting impaled on pieces of wood, which they fall off the motorcycle and fly into this piece of wood, that gets a point. You got some soapy boobs. And they were good looking boobs, so that's a point. And then you get a scene where a green glob looks like something Linda Blair was spewing out. It gets thrown on this lady's face, and that gets a point. And she got her mouth wide open, so it all kind of lands in her eyes and her face and her mouth. Then you get a pretty nice swan dive out of a window. That got a point. You got a vicious skull bashing. I tell you, this film, the last 30 minutes, there are some downright vicious kills in this. There's no playing in this. The skull bashing was brutal, really. Then you get an exploding motorcycle, which was cool. A pretty nice pencil through the forehead or the temple right here. You get a kitchen knife through the shoulder, and then last but not least, and this is 2 points, a simultaneous knifing to the throat and impalement with a poker. So 2 people died at the same time. Boom. Hell High, 11 points. It makes the cut for a great slasher film. I'm not going to say this is one of the best of all time, but it's worthy of your attention. And in fact, it's one of the only slasher films that I can think of where I don't have it taken away points after watching it. So yeah, that's Slasher High. I'm sorry, Hell High. Then I cranked out Madman. This is the Madman Marks, the big fat farm guy that goes around terrorizing the campers. It's a backwoods slasher. Back in backwoods, 1981. Back in 1981, so backwoods and back in time. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo with some internal artwork here. I like this film. It's fun, lighthearted, good kills. Yeah, and Vinegar Syndrome did a really good job on this release. Although I will say, there's a number of scenes in this, and maybe it's just the original print, but there's a number of scenes where you've got these purple lines running through the screen. The scene, you can see it, clearly see it on people's faces more than once, 3 or 4 times. But other than that little nitpick, this is a great release, and if you're a slasher fan, you got to have this. This has some epic kills. And I think Madman Marks looks pretty damn cool. I wish they'd have done a series of these films. So let me run it through the numbers. And I will let's see if it makes the grade on my grading system here. Madman, first you get right out of the get-go, axe to the head while people are sleeping. I only gave it 1 point. He kills off his family, 3 people, in a brutal fashion, but I only gave it 1 point for 1 axe to the head. A lot of it was cutaways. You get a pretty brutal throat slashing. I gave that 2 points. You got a much famous hot tub scene that lasts maybe 4 or 5 minutes of these people, this couple twirling around in the hot tub and doing kind of like a swan dance with each other through the water, and but it's played to this horrible, horrible, sappy, off-key love song. Took a point away for that. That's horrible. It's kind of funny, but it's also horrible. Then I gave a point back for this hot tub dance these two do with each other. It's so funny. I gave a point back for that. Then you got a rope hanging. That was a point. You've got 1 off-screen axe killing. I took a point away for that. One headless corpse, which flies up into this girl's face, is pretty funny. You got a car hood decapitation. I gave that 2 points. I thought that was very good. You've got one, I got to give this, there's a character in here that looks right out of Daryl Hall and John Oates, the 80s band. If you guys don't remember, She's Gone was one of their big songs. And anyway, John Oates has got this kind of like a short Italian guy with a mustache. There's a guy that looks just like John Oates. So I gave him 1 point for the John Oates look-alike. 1 point for a head and an engine block. 1 point for a Hulk Hogan back snapping. And then 1 bonus point for stupidity, where a key scene where a girl's running away from Madman Marks hides in a frickin' refrigerator. You got to see it to believe it. It's hilarious. But, you know, normally I'd probably give it take away a point for that, but it's so freaking hilarious and off the wall, ridiculous that it actually works. It's one of those bad moments that works. So they were lucky on that regard. An axe to the chest that kicked big ass. It was a great scene. And then an impaling on a wall hook. So that's total 12 points. It makes the mark. And, yeah, Mad Men. Good film. So that's it for day 21. I actually have a Blu-ray and DVD update, but I think because I'm running towards 15 minutes, I think I'm going to do with that as a separate video. So stay tuned. Thanks.